Hello everyone, I'm John Ramsey and I'm the principal agent here at Covenant Insurance, and we are currently doing a series of videos helping to explain and make sense of Medicare a little bit. Our first video was on Medicare Part A, and that went over all the ins and outs of how much Medicare Part A costs, what all Medicare Part A covers. And so this is the second video of a several video series. I'm not sure exactly how many videos we're going to do. We're probably going to end up doing about 5 or 6, but we'll just have to see. And if you can think of a topic that you would like to know more information on, please put it in the comments below. We're going to upload these. We're doing Facebook Live on this particular video, but this video will be uploaded to YouTube on our YouTube channel as well. Now, let me first say that I'm not trying to sell you anything. This is an instructional only video, and this video will be used to help my senior friends make sense of Medicare, but also new agents wanting to learn more about Medicare is absolutely welcome to watch these videos and learn. I've been doing Medicare now for several years and I have a passion for it. Also, I am not by any way, shape, or form employed by Medicare or the Centers of Medicare Services. I'm not an agent for them. I am a licensed insurance agent, and I have certifications with Medicare to allow me to sell particular Medicare products, but I'm in no way trying to sell you anything, or do I actually work for Medicare. I'm an independent broker, and so I represent a lot of different Medicare plans and a lot of different companies that offer Medicare products. If you're turning 65 and you are becoming eligible for Medicare, I know that you have received a lot of mail, probably up above your head if you was to stack it all up. You're getting phone calls back to back, you're getting people knocking at your door, and also you probably are getting a lot of advice from your circle of family and friends. But the thing that you've got to realize is you are an individual. You have your own life, different from your spouse or your loved one, different from your cousin or your aunt or your mother, and these plans change all the time. And so while you might be getting what you think is good advice from a cousin or an uncle or a parent or a brother or sister, they may have different needs than you do. Everybody has their own rate of how often they go to the doctor. Everyone has their own health conditions. Everyone has their own medicines that they have to take. And so even whenever I have 2 clients in front of me, a husband and wife, and they're both going on a Medicare plan together, I find it to be so most of the time what's right or what works best for a husband may not be what is exactly the way to go for the wife, or vice versa. Sometimes it may be. So what I would do is, if I were you, I would reach out to a independent broker that specializes in Medicare plans, that offers many different types of plans, because they'll be able to customize a solution that'll fit your needs, your needs as far as being covered correctly, and also your budget. There are many captive agents out there working only for one company, and they can only offer one or two things, and they may give you all the reasons why their product is the best way to go. And we're really not supposed to use superlatives like the word best, but what you'll find is, looking at all the plans that are available in your area, there may be something more comprehensive for your particular needs that you need to look at than what that captive person is able. And I know there's a lot of captive agents out there, not knocking what I just said, but it is what it is. I like to think that I really try to help people out by offering, different products, different plans, different companies, because everyone has particular needs. Now, since I've said all that, everything that I'm going to be saying to you, and by the way, this video is not going to be near as long, because Part A is that there's a lot more moving parts in Part A than there are in Part B. Part B is actually a very simple part of Medicare, pretty easy to understand. And so let's just dive right into Part B. So Part B is your people, okay? Part A, if you haven't watched the Part A video, I urge you to go and look at that. That's all your places, like your hospitals. It's your skilled nursing facility. It's your hospice. It's your home health care. It's blood. But Part A doesn't cover anything to do with a doctor visit or a particular test or durable medical equipment or anything like that. It's only room and board at a hospital or a skilled nursing facility, and so on and so forth, if that makes any sense. So Part B covers all your people. That's your doctors, that's your, and that's medically necessary, medically necessary services, by the way. But it's all your preventative measures, it's your ambulance rides, it's your durable medical equipment, it's all your tests and lab services and things like that, outpatient drugs, mental health, things like that. And so Part B, the cost of it, if you're making $87,000 or less, okay, Part B is going to cost you $144.60. Now, if you're going to go ahead and start your Social Security, this will typically be taken directly from your Social Security check. Now, if you decide to hold off on receiving your Social Security benefit until full retirement age, then what they're going to do is they're going to bill you quarterly for this, but everyone has to pay the Medicare Part B premium. There are a lot of plans out there, Medicare Advantage plans, that cost zero. And so a lot of people say, well, I can just do that and not have to pay this. Well, you still have to pay this. Any Advantage plan or any type of supplement or anything like that is going to be on top of this. So a lot of people don't even think about this because it comes directly out of their check, and so they forget about that charge because out of sight, out of mind type thing. Now, there is a scale. Let me put a little bit better L up there. There is a scale. If you're planning on making more than $87,000, there's a scale that you can look on Medicare.gov, and you can see exactly what your Medicare Part B premium is going to be. Now, let me say something real quick on that. If you are covered under your employer plan, okay, so you're going to stay with your employer after you turn 65, Medicare automatically sends you a Medicare card with A and B on it, and it will say if you wish to not take your Part B services right now, then sign this form and send this back. And then what they do is they send you a card that just has Part A on it. Now, the reason why that's important is because a lot of people think that they need to go ahead and jump on this at the time of them turning 65. And so what they do is they go ahead and pay this, but they stay on their employer coverage. And so really, that's something that I would shy away from, because you're basically double dipping, so to speak. If you are on your employer coverage, your employer coverage is going to cover your doctor bills and things of that nature, however much it does. So what I would do is I would look at how much your employer plan is currently costing you. Also, what is the deductible of your employer plan, and see what all is covered under Part B, which these videos is for that purpose. And so you can kind of decide which way is better to go. If it's better to stay on your employer plan, then I would absolutely do that. I would just decline the Part B coverage for now. You're not going to have any penalty as long as your employer coverage is considered what they call credible, which most employer coverages are nowadays. And then at the time of your retirement, then you can go ahead and request your Part B to start. So you'll have a date that your retirement is when your employer coverage will be ending, and then you'll be able to start your Part B at that point and not have any type of penalties. But now, if you go in there and say, well, I'm just not going to take out Part B, period, and you don't have any type of credible coverage, then what you're going to find is at the time that you do need to enroll in Part B, that you will have a substantial penalty. And if you want to know what that penalty is, you can message me, and I'll be happy to show you where you can find that information and kind of explain that in a little more depth. So let me recap that one time. If you are going to continue working and you're going to stay on your employer coverage, I would not take the Part B, because you'll basically be paying twice. Okay, a lot of people think, well, I'll take out the Medicare, and then my employer coverage is going to pay everything Medicare doesn't pay. It doesn't necessarily work that way. You will have Medicare Part A in the background. Medicare Part A, your hospital coverage will pay primary, and then your employer coverage will pay secondary. But there is no point in paying for Medicare Part B if you're going to stay on that employer coverage. But if your employer coverage is going to cost an arm and a leg, and you're going to have a big high deductible, I would go ahead and close out that benefit and take your Medicare Part B, and you may find that you have a little bit of coverage that way. It's just all according, and you're welcome to call my office and kind of we can kind of talk over that, or find an agent that you trust that specializes in this type of plan. Okay. Now, Part B, again, it costs $144.60. Now, I'm going to leave this figure up here because this is a figure you're going to, if you take out Part B, you're going to have to pay it, okay? But Medicare Part B has a deductible, and by the way, this is fees and costs according to the 2020 20-year cost schedule, okay? That they typically change a little bit every year, but this video is being taken in the year 2020. Okay, so Medicare Part B has a deductible of $198 for the year, okay? So, and then after that, it is basically a 80-20 plan. So, the way that works, let's say you go to the doctor January 1, okay, or sometime in January, February, whatever, okay, you're going to pay that doctor as long as they accept Medicare, what they call Medicare Assignment, which is what Medicare allows a doctor to charge you. You're going to pay dollar for dollar the first $198. So you go to the doctor, okay, and the doctor, let's say he bills you $200, and Medicare says, well, Medicare Assignment says, and this is not an actual figure. This is just for demonstration purposes, okay? I don't have, I'm not privy to the Medicare Assignment schedule, okay? But let's say Medicare says, well, you bill that, but you're only allowed to bill $165 for that service, okay? So what they're going to do is Medicare is going to say, well, this Medicare beneficiary has not met their deductible of $198, so you go ahead and bill them for the $165, okay? Let's say you go back February the 15th and they bill another $165, okay? Medicare will say, well, they have met $165 of their deductible, okay? So let's do a little math here. So they have a $198 deductible. They've met 165 of that. Okay, so 0033. So they have $33 left to pay for the deductible. Okay, and then Medicare so go ahead and bill them the $33. All right, so that's 2 and 3. So we got $132 left. Medicare is then going to pay, so you have got $132 left. Medicare is going to pay 80% of that, and then you'll be billed for the additional 20% that's left over. Okay. Now, if you have any questions about that, just put the question in the question bar, and I'll be happy to assist you with that. Again, this is doctor fees, this is lab services, this is MRI, CT scans. Now, anything to do with preventative service. Now, I'm talking about your annual wellness check. You get a one-time welcome to Medicare check. I'm talking about your diabetic screenings, your annual mammograms for ladies, your yearly prostate check, bone density test, once every 5 years, the colonoscopy. All of the preventative services are available to you at no cost, okay? So let's talk about that real quick. Let's say you go in for your regular once every 5 years colonoscopy, because it's time for it. It's a preventative measure, okay? So you go in for the colonoscopy, you will pay typically $0 for that. Now sometimes they may have to use a little bit different anesthesia or something like that, and so you may have some little charges there. But for the actual colonoscopy preventative, okay, you're not going to pay anything. Now, they go in there and and they see some things, and so you have to go back for a diagnostic colonoscopy. Well, now you're going to have to pay your deductible and your 20%. Now, these charges are only to you if you do not have some sort of plan in place to pay what Medicare does not pay. I'm talking about if you only have Medicare Part A, Medicare Part B, and Medicare Part D, okay? So I'm talking about if you only have that. If you have a supplement, then this whole conversation is different. If you have an Advantage plan, this whole conversation is a different conversation. But there's a lot of people that just have their Medicare card and that's it. So I have a client that went in for a preventative mammogram. They saw a shadow on there. They wasn't sure about it. She didn't pay anything for the preventative mammogram. She had the shadow. She had to go back for the diagnostic mammogram. Well, now she got billed for that. So now, a lot of times what you'll find is if you do get billed for that, a lot of times the medical coder has coded that incorrectly. And so I spend most of my year on the phone with doctor's offices because one of my clients is coming here, they were billed incorrectly for whatever the service is, and so I call the doctor with them sitting here and I say, you know, how did you bill this? And 9 times out of 10 they billed it incorrectly, or one of the numbers was transposed, or whatever the case may be. But most people don't know that type of thing, and so that's why you need to have an agent that you can trust that'll work with you on things like that. Anyway, so let's talk about this. Now, all of that was fact. This is opinion. Now, I'm going to do a video on Medicare supplements. I'm going to do a video on Medicare Advantage Part C. I'm going to probably do a video on the differences between the two. But let me just show you something real quick, just to kind of perk your interest, okay? Medicare is an 80-20 plan. You meet your deductible of $198 for the year, and now Medicare pays 80, you pay 20. That's great. You have a $100 doctor bill, Medicare pays 80, you pay 20. That's not bad. The problem is, and why there are plans out there in place to help you, is if you start adding zeros out here. This is why I sell Medicare plans, because I do not want to see a senior citizen in this position right here. And so if you just have straight Medicare, I would seriously investigate and see what plans are available in your area. Now, there's one more thing that I haven't really talked about, and that's a thing called excess charges. What in the world is an excess charge? Well, what happens is sometimes a doctor does not want to accept just standard Medicare assignments. So they don't like the fee schedule that Medicare tells them that they have to go by, okay? And so what they can do is they can bill, they have the right to bill an additional 15% above Medicare assignment. So let me show you real quick how that works. You get a $100 doctor bill. Well, let's say the doctor goes ahead and doesn't accept the assignment, and so they send you a $115 doctor bill. Well, $100 of that is the assignment. So Medicare is going to still pay $80 of it, because he billed the 15% above the regular $100 like we talked about a while ago. Okay. Now, so somebody's got to pay this 15 bucks. Now, since you're a Medicare beneficiary, you're responsible for 20%, but you're also responsible for this assignment as well. So in this case, you're not going to pay 20, you're going to pay 35. That is Medicare excess charges, and you are liable for that if the doctor that you choose does not accept standard Medicare assignment. Most doctors do, but there are some that does not. So it's one of those things. I think I have covered everything really to do with Medicare Part B. Basically, it's an 80-20 plan. You meet the deductible of $198, and then you have an 80-20 plan, and that's pretty well. I really appreciate you tuning in and watching this video. We're going to talk about again. We're also going to talk about some Medicare beneficiaries are eligible for state Medicaid services. So we're going to talk about that there's plans out there called QMB and SLMB. There's things out there called low income subsidy that helps with drug costs. It's also called extra help. It's through the Social Security Department. And there's a lot of Medicare beneficiaries out there that has that all of that is available to them, but no one has ever told them about them. They just kind of fell through the cracks. And so stay tuned for some more videos in this series. But I really appreciate you joining in with us today. Please leave a comment, and if you have any questions, feel free to email me. Our website is Covenant Life and Health, all one word, COVENANT, lifeandhealth.com. You can email me at jtramsey@charter.net, but feel free to reach out to us at any time. Our agency is licensed in Georgia, Tennessee, Alabama, South Carolina, North Carolina, and Florida. So if you're in those areas, I can personally assist you with the plan. I'm not asking you to call me, but if you're outside of that area, I can still assist you in giving you advice. It won't cost you a nickel, but I'll be happy to help you any way I can. But thank you so much for tuning in today. Thank you.